mcgimsey right now. Now, Andrew, tell us what your problem is.
My ears are not very good because I wasn't listening very good at in Dunedin.
So you've got a bit of a hearing problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Righty-ho. So what are you going to do for him, Ronald?
Well, first we need to explain how these things are, how they're orchestrated, how they're built. Early in his life, before we become aware of a lot of these things, before his parents became aware, there was digital clocks which discharge the pericardium in the heart, and then the heart doesn't pump enough blood to the liver, and then the liver malfunctions, and cholesterol and animal fat build up and block the blood supply to the ears. And then, of course, the blood's supposed to rebuild and restore and rejuvenate every cell in the body, and all of a sudden they're not. So, you can be a 6-year-old with 90-year-old ears,
So is this the case with Andrew?
Yes, the cells in the ear here at the present time would be the equivalent to 50, 60, 70 years old. And because the blood's got to go in there, rebuild and restore, every cell in the body is replaced every 4.5 months. So nearly every problem in the body has the same cause: not enough blood getting in, taking oxygen and nutrient in and waste matter out, and of course not getting the building materials on site to rebuild the cell.
Okay, now Ron, so what can you do for him?
So what we're going to do is, first, of course, you tune up the heart, you tune up the liver and so on, and then eventually then you do come to the ears. And when the ears, we're going to dissolve some of these blockages in there, and to do that we start with the aura. You don't start right on the ear, you start with the aura and you improve it, because the force field round the head must be right first. And so these are double terminated celestials, and then you have the ones that dissolve. These dissolve actually white of egg. These are the smoky crystals, and you come in until you meet resistance. You're right round the head.
So how's that feeling, Andrew?
A way bit better.
Radiation, all the radiations densify things. Low-level radiation densifies sugar and so on. And so all animal fat, margarines, white of egg are all densified by the different radiations you find in the average people's home. So let's get the radiation out, and then the blockage in there will start to dissolve. And so the wonderful amethyst here is so wonderful that it has the capacity to suck that bad radiation out there. And efforts to find out, often medical science will X-ray or scan, and then their efforts to find out something, they add to the burden. You see, they had become part of the problem. So our job is to clean these things out and create a dynamic energy force around the head, so as the cells inside there are full of energy. And then they can throw their burden out, their blockages out. And then we've got the energy field going right, and then we approach the ear itself with the concentrated amethyst effect. We're pulling these. The amethyst always pulls bad out, whether it's chemicals or whether it's blockages.
So how's this feeling, Andrew?
A way bit scary.
Bit scary. Why is it a bit scary?
Because you can't really see what he's doing, and sometimes I get clicks in my ears when he's doing that.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't really know.
But is it feeling better?
A wee bit.
Good.
See, what actually happens when you release things, the ears are very sensitive to sound and what's happening. As that's quite right. As we release the blockages, he would feel or hear, even though his hearing's not good.
So what type of crystals are these, Ron?
These are giant amethysts. They're very rare. They're actually almost a collector's item, really, because there's only about 200 of them on Earth that exactly like that. And their Smithsonian Institute would love to have them. It's a great museum of crystals. Now, so that's starting what will be a process of renewal, rebuilding it rather than trying to cure it. But the ear function when we started was down about 60%. It's now 82%. And then we come at it from the reflex. The reflexes of the ears are here at the base of these three outside fingers. There's the thumb and the forefinger. And at the base of these is where we can work now to help the ears. You see, you've got 82%, so we'll try and get a bit higher of proper function. So we're getting right at the base of this finger here, right at the base here, and we're going to massage.
So is this reflexology?
This is reflexology. This is hand reflexology. And it's always worth doing, and parents can do this because they can't harm, they can only help. You haven't got to worry about, there might be bad repercussions of what you do. What reflexology does is normalizes the function of every organ, especially the ones. That was a bit sore, was it? A bit firm? He isn't.
Why does it hurt?
Because this is the point. You find the pain and work it out.
Okay.
The body is trying to tell you this is where the cause, this is where the blockage is represented by here, represented in here. It's in here, represented here, and it'll always be sore where the blockage is. And so when I'm getting down to the nitty-gritty, as it were, he will know it. And I can watch his face, and if he's starting to grimace a wee bit or something, I know I'm helping him. So don't avoid it because the child is registering pain. Just explain to them, hey, now you've helped me find the trouble spot, you see. And the ear function at 80, 81, 82, 84, and then you do the same. You do the same on the ear reflexes on the feet. I'm afraid you're well encased here, and we're
Get the shoes off.
here we are. And so you do exactly the same. Now the left foot, of course, will represent the left ear. The right foot will represent the right ear. You're coming in the same at the base of the toes here. And this is very important to do.
It's a bit ticklish here too, won't it?
So we're going to do the reflex, the foot reflex of the ear, the hand reflex of the ear, the force field round the head, round the ear. You do the meridian channels to the ear. You do the nerve flows to the ear. And when you do all that, the doctor inside, the wonderful healer inside, will start healing the ears. And then it's a building process. You rebuild, you restore, rejuvenate, heal, cleanse, activate, but you don't cure. I mean, the cure is something you apply if you're going to make leather out of a cowhide. It's not a good word, but they will better, they will improve. They're either going to get worse or they're going to get better. Start a healing process. And then we're going to see he's making a bit of a show here. And it's hurting now. This ear is 92 and the other one's 82 because it's on this side, you see. So it's on this side and it hasn't been getting any attention.
Not the other foot, says Andrew.
And so everybody's going to know all over Southland what type of shoes he wears.
Now, what if you're ticklish? I mean, I'm quite ticklish on my foot. It'd probably be quite difficult for me to have reflexology.
Well, under those circumstances, the main thing is to come in quite firm early so as you're feeling the pain rather than the tickle. But it is very difficult. I have a sister I can't do reflexology on at all, and I have many patients I can't, for this ticklish is just so extreme. But as a rule, if you approach firmly, they can handle that.
Okay. So obviously this is uncomfortable because you're hitting the problems that he has.
Exactly. So there's no doubt about it. He would know. He couldn't miss. And also, I'm not namby-pamby about it. He's quite tough. He's quite strong. And he needs to get well. He needs his ears. And it's worth a bit of pain. So the function, 90, 92. And now we just keep working with everything we can. Just keep going. Now, cerebral circulation is 80%, so you have to bring the whole head circulation up to work on the ears. And one of the ways you can do it by using the fingers of the hand and just walking on the head, walking. So the ears cannot be any better than the whole average cerebral circulation in there. So we're just going to get the hair roots going here. And now the ear function, 91, 92, 93, 94, 96. So you can release. See, each finger actually has an energy force. You can see it in Curly and photography right out to here. And all those energy forces are dissolving something. So each finger is a different healer, a different doctor, you see. And so we're going in with the finger doctors, the energy fields at the end of the fingers. and the whole head's coming up
Oh, we
here.
don't like that, do we, Andrew?
No.
How are you feeling? You feeling better?
Yeah, but sore on my head because my granddad's got very sharp nails.
Granddad!
Sketching, actually, the sharpness was under his scalp, the crystalline deposits, actually. My nails are reasonably cut and I'm avoiding digging them in. But his ear function, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 99. And to see how we got another great jump just by working on the local head, you know. Under the skin is the lymphatic system. The blood supplies the lymph. And when the lymph gets stagnant, it stops flowing. So we can pour a wee bit of wheat germ oil in there tonight, and then just pour a wee bit in out of the bottle and go in there and massage it into the scalp, because the vitamin E gets the sticky platelets out of the lymph and gets that stagnant lymph flowing, especially if you've got psoriasis or dandruff in there.
Great.
Just pour the wheat germ oil in and rub it in, and then we'll get the final. And now these ears will improve. Now remember, you start a curative process. You rebuild them, you restore them, rejuvenate, heal, activate, and cleanse. Don't try and cure it. Don't try and just use a painkiller or something. Find the pain and work it out. Pain's a friend. It's a different approach, but it works.
Okay, great. Now, how long are you in town for, Ron?
Well, we'll be here. Our last day is the 8th of November, and then we're away on a tour which will take us through to Christmas. Then I'll have a little holiday and be back here to start the second week of January.
Okay, great. So if you want to get get your kids down to see Ronald McGimsey, you better get in before November the 8th. Well, let's hope Andrew's hearing improves. After the break, we're going to the brand new premises of Party Plus. That's at 201 Space Street, and also we're off to talk to Robbie Baxter at Cedar Motor Corp. Back in a moment. Welcome back. Now, if you're in the mood for a party, you want to go down to Party Plus, they're at 2